Hey y'all, CB here, the no BS welder here at NBS Welding. Let me tell you what I'm into right now. I got a buddy of mine got a hold of me. He's got an aluminum ATV gas tank. Been leaking gas. He don't know where the leak's at. Let's take a look at her. First thing I asked him before I saw the tank, which I see now, this is quite an elaborate tank. Pretty elaborate aluminum tank. A lot of fabrication involved. First thing I asked him was how much a new one cost. He said 300 bucks, and then he texted back and said maybe 250. I said if it costs that much, it's probably worth fixing. Let's see if we can find a leak in it. What we got here is your standard garden variety wheelbarrow full of water. Air compressor. Look, when you put air in a tank, you need to be extremely careful. Air pressure will blow this thing up. What we've got right here, there's a line that come on it that I can stick my air wand in, put a little air in. There's a line that comes off the center of your gas cap that'll let air out. So that'll give me a way to judge how much air I'm putting in it. But don't go putting 100 pound of air in something that's supposed to hold gasoline. You know, just do what you got to do to find out what you got to find out. You don't need to put more pressure in something than you got to remember on pounds per square inch. That's a big deal. In other words, if you got an area on a tank that's 10 inches by 10 inches, that's 100 square inches. If you put 1 psi of air in there, that's just like setting 100 pounds on that 10 by 10 area. So you can see how if you got 100 psi of air, how much pressure you're talking about you could possibly be putting in a tank. You need to be careful. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this in here, and you can see there's going to be some air come out of that end. And that lets me know I got a little bit of pressure in there. When I get a little bit of pressure in there, I'll put my finger on it. Now I'm going to hold it. I see it leaking. Right there. That thing's bubbling right there. Where this bracket was welded on, the welder blew a hole in this probably when he was welding on, or he had an issue. I don't know what happened, but that thing's leaking right there. Right there. Let me say something, and I can't stress this enough. Welding on gas tanks at all is extremely dangerous. No matter how you do it, it is extremely dangerous. There's things that I'm going to be doing here to deal with this one, and I don't recommend that anybody ever does it. The thing about welding is not only is there fire, but there's heat, and that heat in between things or inside of things creates pressure. If you have anything combustible even in an extremely small amount, and you put pressure on it, and then it combusts, that explosion, even though the combustible that's left is only a minute amount, that explosion can be huge. You know, I can't stress enough that welding on gas tanks is dangerous. It's generally not worth doing. I am going to weld this one, and this is how I'm going to do it. I've got a tank of argon here, and connected to the flow meter, I have a shield gas hose that I've cut off. To that, I'm going to connect this double barbed fitting that I'm going to connect to the fuel line right here. When I put that together, I'm going to start to purge this tank and fill it completely full of argon, with the idea being that when this tank is totally full of argon, there's no way a combustible could light because there's no oxygen. Now, here's the nuances of it. If there's a leak between this tank and this little bracket, there could be an area behind that bracket where there could be a combustible. And if there is some way that oxygen could get there, and you weld on that and you create pressure, and you have created somehow, even without knowing, a situation where you can have pressure and explosion, then just the explosion that could take place behind that little bracket could hurt you really bad. One of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to post, prior to this part of the video, you've already seen the still pictures where I zoomed in and showed the damage to this tank that needs welded up. In that spot, once I'm satisfied that I've purged this tank really well, I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to drill a hole right through that bad spot. And part of that is going to be making sure that I have a little bit more of an idea what's behind there. Because you never know when a tank gets built. You know, did they weld a plate behind that? Am I purging a part of the tank that's not even a part of the tank that I'm welding on? Does it have a baffle in it that could be, you know, create a dangerous situation? You don't know. So I'm going to drill a hole through there, and I'm going to drill a hole right where the damage is at, and that hole's going to get welded up. Now, the argon is heavier than the air, and if I'm setting it this way where it's going in the bottom, it should fill from the bottom up, and I'm going to have this cap on there where this hose is going to let the argon out the top while I'm purging it. In just the instant before I weld the hole shut, I'll take that gas cap off, and I'm not trying to let air in there. I'm just going to do that as an extra precaution to have a big hole at the top, because if there's a great big hole at the top and it does somehow manage to light inside the tank, even though I've purged it with argon, I won't be creating the pressure. Hopefully in that scenario, the fire would just blow out of that open top. It shouldn't take me long to weld it up, but like I said, it's dangerous. Welded up. I probably put a little more on it than I needed to, but to get it all, you know, the time you take to get it all purged with argon and all of that, you wouldn't want to underdo it. See, if your little doohickey on your water sprayer is broke, you might have to jam your pocket knife in it. Damn log truck's making an awful lot of racket. See, we look at our thing in our cap. Got bubbles. I don't know if you can see that, but that weld's underwater. No bubbles. We're good. That's fixed. There had a fair amount of pressure in there. All right. Got that fixed. That's another repair on aluminum for the ARCCAPTAIN TIG200P. This is undoubtedly my favorite machine for TIG welding aluminum. I did a review on the ARCCAPTAIN TIG200P. I did a two-part review on the ARCCAPTAIN MIG200. That's another machine that I still use a lot, and you'll see in the review videos for that it's an amazing machine. These things, small, lightweight, and affordable. Great little welders for a hobby welder, and I'm using them as a professional with no problem. Being an ARCCAPTAIN affiliate, I have an ARCCAPTAIN promo code, and if you want to buy an ARCCAPTAIN machine, the promo code will be in the description of my video and in the description of pretty much all my videos. When you use my link there in the description, that'll take you to the ARCCAPTAIN website, and you can look at what they've got there. And if you use the NBS Welding promo code, you'll get a discount, and I'll get credit for that. They'll know that you got to them because of me, and that helps the channel. I'm also a promoter of Thrive Lifestyle products. There'll be a link in the description of my videos that'll take you to the Thrive website. If you'd like to try the Thrive supplements that I take, that I've been taking for over 7 years, my health and wellness has continued to improve ever since I started taking the Thrive supplements, and I am a proud promoter of those products too. We also sell t-shirts. There'll be a little t-shirt ad at the end here, and I want to thank you for watching, and anything you can do to support the channel so I can keep up this video habit that I've got, trying to share my welding and fabrication stuff. And you know, anything you can do, you may not be interested in purchasing a t-shirt or Thrive supplements or an ARCCAPTAIN welding machine, but it doesn't cost you anything to like the video, comment on the videos, share them. If you do any social media, maybe share them. If you don't want them on something like your Facebook page, maybe you know somebody that might want to watch the videos, send it through Messenger, send it private, but send the links around. And anything you can do to help the channel, I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying to share what I do, and I'd like to keep doing it. So that's another do's and don'ts for NBS Welding and Arc Captain. And like I always say, y'all, learn how to work with what you got. That way you always have everything you need. Hey y'all, CB here in the break room at NBS Welding. I'm hollering at you about the NBS Welding t-shirts. We've still got NBS Welding t-shirts with the NBS Welding on the front, big NBS Welding on the back. We have had a lot of orders so far, which a lot for us doesn't take that much, but we got the American flag right here on the sleeve. We do still have t-shirts. It helps the channel if you buy a t-shirt. If you think you'd like to have an NBS Welding t-shirt, please get a hold of us. Send Tina an email request to nbswelding@aol.com. We have had some people order t-shirts, and of course we want to give the shout out and the thanks for helping the channel by ordering a t-shirt. And we have got a lot of compliments. These are good quality shirts. People have mentioned that they're good quality shirts. They're comfortable and everybody likes them. Haven't got any complaints at all on the t-shirts that we mailed out. So $25 plus shipping for a t-shirt. And if you send the email request to Tina, nbswelding@aol.com, and she'll figure out where you're at, and she can figure out what it's going to cost to ship it to you, and we'll get it done. All right? So thank you.